Alright, welcome to part 4. Congratulations if you made it this far. As a test of your progress, I reckon you should be on video 4 if you're really good by no later than lesson 3 really, okay? So bear that in mind. If you're not there and you're taking more lessons than that, then you might need to pick up the pace or put in a bit more time. Anyway, so well done if you got this far. You should have all these parts and the bottom. What we're going to focus on in this video is making basically the rest of it. We're going to make the shelves for the door, we're going to make the door itself, and we're going to make the blank piece of acrylic for the top, which you'll then customize in a different program in the next video. Right, okay, what we're going to do, you should hopefully be at the same place. If you're not on this screen, just click return or finish sketch to get back so you're in assembly mode. You can tell you're in assembly mode because everything over here is all white. If you were working on one part, say the top panel, you'll notice that all the other components are greyed out. Alright, so just check, return, make sure you're back in assembly mode. Right, we are going to create a shelf now, and it's going to be a lot easier to do if we get rid of this top panel temporarily. Now, it would be stupid to delete it and waste all our hard work. Luckily, Inventor's got a way of quickly making things invisible. So select the top panel and you'll see it highlights it over here on the left, and then you can right click and untick visibility by clicking on it, and you'll see now it looks like the top's been deleted, but it's just temporarily gone. Alright, we're going to click create, and I'm going to call this battery shelf, and just going to click anywhere apart from on the model. And then I'm going to start my sketch, rotate my view around. Be careful how you do this. You want to be looking inside the box through the top, alright, not from the bottom. You want to be looking down onto it, and you're going to start your sketch on the top inside of the bottom like I'm doing here. I hope that makes sense. Okay, might be a good idea to go to view, visibility, untick that and get rid of that pesky work plane. Go back to your sketch tab up here, and what you're going to do now is you're going to project some geometry. We're going to project the borders of our shelf. So I'm going to project this line, this line, this line, and I'm basically just projecting the corners, okay, just to give me something I can sketch onto. I'm going to get the rectangle tool, and I'm actually going to draw two shelves at one time here, which is not good practice, but it will be quicker. So now I've projected those lines, I can pick the top corner, I can move down to the bottom, so make sure it stretches from one inside panel to the other inside panel, and we're going to come out, let's say, I'm going to go 14 millimeters, okay, so 14. I'm going to do the same in the other corner, start in the corner, bring it down, and 14, enter. Okay, right, next job, get the circle tool. We might as well get the laser cutter to make the hole for our screw rather than having to drill it in the workshop, so if we can save time we should do. So get your circle tool, draw yourself a circle on the center here. So again, make sure you're in the middle of the object. You should be able to find the green blob and move along if it's not quite the same as my view. Draw yourself a circle of 2.5 diameter, and we're going to do the same over here, just roughly but in the middle, 2.5. And the next thing we're going to do is get our dimension tool, and we're going to dimension our circle's center dot by clicking, and then click the side and set that to, let's go, 10 millimeters. We'll do the same on this side, so dimension, dot in the middle, remember zoom in if you're having trouble clicking it, and the side, give it 10 millimeters. Excellent. Finish your sketch, and you should know by now to make a sketch 3D we use extrude, and the profiles we want to extrude are this guy and this guy. Now we do want to go up as they're going at the moment, but we only want to go up 4 because we're making them out of 4mm wood. Just make sure they're going the right way into your box, not down like that, that would be wrong. Into your box, click OK. The only thing left to do is change the material, so you know how to do that by now. Go up to here, and choose whatever material you used. In my case it was white oak, or something like that, I don't know. I think it was under here, Autodesk Appearance Library. There's 3 different libraries basically, so find whichever works for you. Please don't make it look tacky though. We're looking for nice presented work later on. This is all part of getting your grade on this course. So right, anyway, white oak, natural, medium, solid, that's the one. God, that's slow. Excellent. Okay, anyway, when you're done, click return. We can now make our top panel come back. So all we do is go back over to here. You'll see it's gone grey. Right click on it and now tick visibility by selecting it, and it will come back. Okay, so well done if you've done that. The final step is we're just going to make the actual door that sits inside there. So you're going to go create, battery door, click anywhere to start drawing, click start 2D sketch, and we're going to do the sketch on top of that little shelf we made. Okay, it can be either of them, but on top of the shelf. Alright, get rid of the stupid work plane. It really annoys me, this. So view, visibility, untick. Go back to sketch. And now we're going to project this entire internal outline. Okay, so we're going to click all these lines that make up the shape of our battery door. This saves us having to draw them all by hand and work out how big they should be. We're just going to steal the information from something we've already created. Okay, and project this little circle here and here. Right, so you should have a yellow outline a bit like that. Finish your sketch when you're done. Click extrude, select what you want to extrude, and it's 4mm. Just verify by moving your view that it's going the right way. That's the right way. Click OK. Maybe change your material, so I'll do that now. White oak, solid, natural, medium. And there's actually one last thing we need to do here. You've probably never screwed 2 bits of wood together in your life, because not many people do that sort of thing anymore at home. But if you've ever used a screw, you'll know that basically the thing you're biting into with the screw should be drilled to a smaller hole, and the thing that the screw kind of passes through should be drilled to a larger hole. So the screw's going to pass through our lid. At the moment, because we projected these holes, they're the same size as the holes below. We want to make these holes a bit bigger. So all we're going to do is make another sketch. So start sketch on the top of my panel, and I'm going to project that circle. I'm going to project the other circle. I'm going to get the circle tool now that I've got something to draw to, and I'm going to draw out a 4mm circle here and a 4mm circle there. Okay, I know that looks like quite a big difference in size, but don't worry, it will make sense later on. Click finish, and now you want to extrude just that little bit and that little bit, but make sure you're cutting material away. Click OK and click return. So what you should be able to see is that your door has a larger diameter hole in it than the shelf underneath it. Alright, one thing I'm going to show you about Inventor now, which is quite cool, is the cross-section view. This will allow you to check you've done everything right. This isn't something you can... It's not something that I'm going to mark you on, I just want you to know about it because it's quite clever. So when you've done all this, go to view, and you've got, under this option, you've got quarter, half or 3/4 section view. Choose half section view, and just click on the side of your work. Now what you'll get is a little arrow, and here's where the magic happens. If you click and drag this arrow, you will see it slices through your object as you drag it along, and it'll give you a view of as though you've cut it in half. So it's really clever. You could maybe stop your slice there and have a look and go, right, is my screw hole as I expect? I've got a bit, I've got a narrow a bit, yes, that's what I wanted. Do all my panels locked together without overlapping? Yeah, we're all good. And when you're happy with it, you can go end section view, and it will take it back to how it was. So you can do your half section view from any angle. You could click on the top and then drag your arrow down, so you can do kind of a cross section through it like this. So here I can kind of check that my shelves actually go all the way up to the edges and all the way to the back, which they do. And then 3/4 section view, if you're interested, allows you to do 2 slices at once. So you could maybe click on the top and bring it down, and click the little arrow, and then you could click on the side and bring it in, and click the tick, and you'll see that sliced down and across, and just taking a chunk out of the corner. Alright, this will be really useful later on in your folder when you do your own design ideas for your coursework and you have to present them. It's obviously going to show the examiner exactly what you mean with your design. Okay, right. Anyway, we're done with that, so click End Section View, and the final bit we're going to do in this video is a couple of things. Well, we've actually got a fair bit more to do. We'll make the acrylic bit, and then in the next video we'll talk about placing some ready-made components into your model. Okay, so we're going to go to Assemble, and we're going to Create, and we're going to call this part the Acrylic, A-C-R-Y-L-I-C, Acrylic lens, something like that. Click OK, click anywhere to start drawing it, get your sketch, and annoyingly it spun my view round. I want to draw my sketch. This bit is very important, don't go just clicking anywhere. You want to draw your sketch. Sorry, it's because I'm looking at it from, I can't actually work out which way up I'm looking at it. I think that's the top there. Why is that not doing it? There we go. Right, you want to rotate your view so that you can basically select an inside face of that slot. Alright, so like either that square or that square or that square or that one, okay? Doesn't matter which, but make your sketch on there. Okay. Right, get rid of the work plane. You should be good practiced at this now. View, untick, and go back to sketch. And you got to be a little bit careful here. I'm actually going to rotate my view slightly. You're going to use project geometry, and you're going to project this bit, this bit, this bit, this bit, that line, that line. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm tracing sort of the bottom halves of the holes here, here, and here. Okay. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to draw a rectangle. In fact, we're going to project a bit more. Sorry, so project geometry. You're going to also project the extreme edge here and the extreme edge there. I don't know if that's done anything. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, when you've done that, maybe square up your view by clicking like on the cube. And you're going to draw yourself a rectangle, and just roughly for now draw yourself a 100 by 100 rectangle. That's the maximum size of the bit of acrylic that I can afford to give you guys, because we're Collingwood and we got no money, as you know the deal. And what I would like you to do, a couple of things. Firstly, project and click the side. And then you're going to go and get the collinear constraint, you might remember this one, and make this side collinear with that, which will bring them in line. That way we know our rectangle's dead in the center. The next thing we're going to do is click this little point tool here, and we're going to click the end of one of these yellow vertical lines, and then click on here, and that will bring it down to the same level. Final thing you've got left to do is to get the rectangle tool and sort of trace over these bits. These are going to be like the little feet of our acrylic lens that are going to slot into your wooden base. We want to also make a little curved area here for our LED to shine up. If you're a bit confused at this, perhaps just watch until it's finished, and then when it's complete it might make a bit more sense what I'm doing, and come back to this. So anyway, do what I've done, get the circle tool, and here we go. We're going to draw, actually no, we're going to use the arc tool, I apologise. So click arc, we're going to click this point once and this point once and move up, and we want an arc of 2mm should be fine. So type 2, we're going to do the same here, click with the arc, click again, move up to 2, and the same here, click, click, there we go. And all that's left now to do is to do some tactical trimming. So trim, we're going to trim away this line and that line. I've actually had to do that one twice. That I drew 2 lines there because I did one big rectangle and then 3 small ones, so there's actually a line on top of a line. Trim and trim, trim the bottom of that, trim the bottom of that. So what we're looking for is down, up and around the LED, up and around the LED. Okay, so again, I haven't really had to use any clever sizes there. All I've done is just project geometry and use what's already there. So anyway, click Finish Sketch, click Extrude. Now if you've done it correctly, it should automatically fill up the whole space. Now, we're using 3mm thick acrylic, so it's a bit different to the wood, so type 3 rather than the normal 4 that you would have done. Just check that you've got this pattern, okay? Like 4 feet and 3 curves where the LEDs will sit inside. Happy with it, click OK, and all that's left to do is change the material. So you're going to go up here, and I'd recommend, if you want it to look transparent, press P for polycarbonate, scroll down until you find polycarbonate. There we go, and polycarbonate smoked tends to look a bit better than polycarbonate clear, but I'll leave it up to you. Alright, and click return. And now you've pretty much made most of the box. The only things I'd like you to do that I realise I've just missed off, we're going to put a little finger hole in the bottom so that we can put our finger in that wooden panel and lift it out. So we're going to double click on our battery door, so we're working on it. We're going to make a new sketch on it, and you're going to draw a circle, but you're going to draw it in the middle of this horizontal line, so wait for the green blob, half on and half off, and I'd recommend make it, let's go 18mm. Okay, trim, tactical trim, the bit you don't need, maybe use a line tool to join up the other end of it, so you've got a complete loop. Finish your sketch, extrude that little bit, it's already selected it as a cut. Okay, so that's our little, if you can imagine, you'll be able to put your finger into that little semicircle there to lift the lid out. Right, we're done with that, so click return, and the last thing we need to do is put a hole in here, which will automatically appear in there. One of them will be for your USB cable if you choose to use it, the other will be for an LDR. Okay, so double click on this panel, make a new sketch on it, choose the circle tool. Now we're aiming for the middle, so my advice would be get the point tool first, find the middle here, make a point, find the middle along this side and make a point, and you'll see now we get 2 dotted lines, look, that help us line up to the exact center. Get the circle, find the 2 dotted lines, click, and you want 5mm. Okay, finish it, extrude it as a cut, click OK, and it should have done the same on the other side. I clicked return there. So that is all the panels you need to make. Well done if you've got that far. You've now got to a stage where you can actually have your design laser cut. We've just got to customize this and put the battery and the USB cable in it and whatever to make it look a bit more visually interesting for your folders. Alright, save your work and move on to the next video.